Hello, everyone. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Hi, I love Doctor. How are you? Hey, Miss Stanley. How are you? Any update yet? Are we getting closer? Hi, everyone. Hello, Illinois Sanctuary. Do me a favor. So last week, I didn't know the audio was gone. If that happens again, how do you get my attention? Let me see. Text Lydia helps me. Hi, Miss Nelly. Long time, right? Any update? Lydia helps really, so she's usually here behind the scene. But text the WhatsApp business line, which is the office line on WhatsApp, and okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, I had to. I couldn't. I did not save the video. So if you were like, okay, where's the video? Like, it wasn't saved. But hopefully that doesn't happen. But we'll see. Come on in, everyone. Good evening. Thank you. Appreciate that. How's everybody doing? This is usually like our Monday, the version of Monday, because Monday was yesterday. You get the drill. But anyway, hey TJ, did not get notifications. So as someone else was saying that, I don't know what's going on. But see, I'm not the one who can help you with tech stuff. I couldn't help you with that to save your life or mine. But hopefully that sorts itself out. Anyway, come on in, everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale Samuel, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Got an immigration case with a case type that we handle, we can, and to represent immigration clients regardless of where you live. So if you've ever wondered if yeah, immigration is federal practice, so it doesn't matter what state you live in or what state your attorney is in. As long as they're licensed in one state, then they can represent you in any immigration matter in any state. So I don't know what's going on. I'm telling you, the devil has failed though. you know how if something goes wrong, you blame on the village people. Yeah, that's it. Hey, listen, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hello, everyone. Yesterday we started out the week. Not the I don't. Someone was asking, do you ever get denials? Of course. I mean, I don't play safe with my practice. I am one that takes on things that seem impossible. So I love challenges. So because of that, obviously, I don't pick and choose. I don't pick, because if I wanted to do that and say, yeah, I'm into the 99.99% success rate, I can do that. That's just going to be boring for me. And some people's cases are just complicated, and you just want to see how things can go and what you can do. One of those cases yesterday, wasn't in our favor. But I don't magnify that. I magnify the greatness and the goodness of God, even in spite of those kind of cases, because I know that the fact that something doesn't go our way does not mean that God fails, right? And doesn't mean that we fail. It just means that what's the next step, what's the next route. And just the same way he is and he is and remains God. Today we got an approval of our case after an expedited request. Expedited request was made exactly my birthday, August 21st, for this wonderful, wonderful woman and her 4 kids. I did not tell her because, I know her story. I know what it's been like, and I know what was needed. So I didn't tell her anything. I just sent the email to Vermont Service Center, and we'll touch base on that briefly later on. And lo and behold, they granted they granted it. And so in true Abby form, when they granted it on Friday, I was like, I'm people here to pay 1 month. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm still learning patience. So on Friday, still nothing. So Sunday, I sent them another email like, hey, people, I think you forgot something you said you were going to do like 2 weeks ago. I know it's just only 2 weeks you granted that request, but hey, can you make a decision already? And today, 2 days after, no RFP got approved. And we filed this case June 23rd, 2022. No previous filing. Her husband never filed for her, so the straight up filing for her and her kids are derivative beneficiaries. And that's how God turns things around. And I pray that God continues to turn things that seem impossible, difficult, pointless, that God will turn them around even in spite of adversity. If you need to contact our office, number is 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalayelawfirm.com, OLALEYE lawfirm.com. WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Just put in Olaleye Immigration, and God remains. Yes, He remains a God, faithful God. He remains faithful, and you can contact us that way. Once again, people, there is still this person on TikTok that is using my photo to tell people to contact them on Google subscribe phone number and WhatsApp. No, we don't have any other number besides 334-341-4475. I'm doing all I can, but I just have to let people know because somebody eventually ended up being scammed about 2 weeks ago by this person. So, and they keep changing the numbers. So please be aware that we don't have any other number outside of 334 area code 341-4475. Subscribe, share, follow, like, all of that good stuff. Let's talk immigration, people. So let's do immigration updates and more. Hold on 1 second. I need to see you. I can only screen for so long. Immigration updates and more. So let me pull up my information right here. Okay. So a lot of us have heard about the immigration updates. What is going on in the immigration world? As far as someone was asking, I know either Friday or Monday they called our office and we're asking my assistant about, hey, I don't want to make a consultation because I don't have the money. I just want to know if I qualify for Dignity Act, yada yada yada. Okay, what is going on with the Dignity Act? Nothing. So they wanted to do something really good for undocumented immigrants, where it was going to be a bipartisan policy that was introduced, but it hasn't made head anywhere. Not on the House, on the floor, floor of the House, not in the Senate, nothing. So is it dead on arrival? I don't know. Well, we're yet to see. Let's just see what goes on. Okay. But the one thing that is that will affect a lot of people is EAD. So that's one question. Another question we've been getting a lot of. What is this whole thing about 5-year EAD validity? So here's what's going on. I believe it was Kilini. Today is 26. I want to say, don't quote me on this, the last Wednesday or Thursday, where wait. Hold on 1 second, people. I may lose my. Give me one. I don't want to lose this. Can you guys see me on Facebook and YouTube? Good. Okay, 1 second. Yo, 1 minute. TJ. Hey, kiddo. This way. Can you help me get? No. T.
Oh no, you want me to plug in your computer?
Yes. So, can you help me find where it is without touching any of this setup? Where's the computer? Should be somewhere here. My computer. No. Look for it. Something hanging. Where is this?
Oh, I see.
This way.
My bad.
Your bad, yes. Kid, if you touch TJ.
Nah, it's all right.
Thanks, kid. Okay, before it goes up. Um, so 5 years work authorization. Let me move this kid of mine. What is the deal on that? Hey, Miss Gill, how are you? Let's see here. Check your email. Check your email. I need an answer from you tonight, please. Thank you. Um, so it's that, just to be very clear, this is so DHS obviously is the umbrella under which USCIS falls. This has not been announced by USCIS agency yet. This is the if you go, because I subscribe to all things, everything immigration, government related. I've got to know. So this was on September 21st, I believe, that they released that beginning October 1st. October 1st, I believe, is what she's Sunday. October 1st, Sunday. That when you file your I-765 for certain categories, not everybody now, if you file your I-765 on or after October 1st, 2023, USCIS, in order to, this is for them, a way for them to also cut back on the backlog, because you remember it was always you issued it for 1 year, and then they started during the COVID time. They started issuing it for 2 years increment. So now, starting on Sunday, anyone who files a 765 Sunday and after will now get a 5-year work permit. So it will be good for 5-year duration. So basically, you're filing a work permit. Knock on wood, all things being equal, you may not have to file a renewal before you get your green card. You may not have to file a renewal before you get scheduled for an asylum interview, if they start getting interviews done and you're granted asylum. So there are some parolees that will be getting their EADs the fastest, like within 30 to 90 days or less. But those who not qualify for a 5-year EAD work permit examples would be if you file for asylum or you've been granted asylum and you file your 765 on or after October 1st, 2023, then you get a 5-year work permit. If you've already filed for asylum, but you haven't filed for your 765, and you file that after October 1st, on or after October 1st, 2023, you get a 5-year work permit. If you file a green card application, either be it based on national interest waiver, EB2 perm, I-130, I-360, as long as you file an I-45, you're requesting a C9 category work permit, you'll also be one of those who will benefit from a 5-year work permit. Let's see which other classes there. Okay, if you are someone who was granted withholding of removal or cancellation removal, so basically that is awesome, because that saves costs, that saves time. You're not waiting that my work permit is coming up on being expired, and now waiting to now renew and all that. Just waste of time. Like, who's got time? So that is the main thing that's going on in the immigration world. The other things that DHS is proposing to do, it's not really something that I love. For instance, one of the things they want to accelerate is expedited removal of family members. Like, if you're as a family unit, you're undocumented, there's no, everyone just gets expedited removal proceedings, meaning the court has to hear that removal, have a individual hearing within 30 days. And if they decide that they do not qualify for any relief, they're expeditiously removed. The other things don't really favor immigrants. The main thing about what's, the updates right now is that there's going to be a work permit for 5 years. USCIS has not released that. This is on the DHS website, part of their facts report. But I anticipate that, sometime either Saturday, Sunday, but by October 1st, USCIS will update that on their website, so we know. Now, another question that came up, someone was asking is, so when you get this 5-year work permit, right? What happens if you also file for advanced parole? Now, that is one thing we're waiting, and I'm waiting to see if they'll clarify that, because normally now, it's always been that when your EAD was just 1 year validity, they issue you also an advance parole, and your card serves as the I-512. When they started the 2-year work permit, the same thing continued. Your card serves as your form I-512 travel document. In this fact report, DHS did not mention anything about the advance parole part of it. The only thing so far that we know for sure is that they intend to make work permits valid for 5 years. Then the question is, if you file a concurrent advance parole, is that going to be valid for 5 years as well? I guess that really we're going to have to wait to see. Let's wait to see what USCIS, because USCIS will still publish the information on their website, and they actually expatiate on that to let us know how that is going to play in with those who file concurrent I-131s with their I-765, especially those who have adjustment of status. Most people would not be those who concurrently file, those who are seeking adjustment of status. Because if you file for asylum or you're filing for asylum, that is, you don't have a concurrent filing option. So mainly those who are filing an I-485 who have the option to file concurrent advance parole applications. So I guess that's something we would have to wait to see and let them and find out when USCIS finally puts it on their website. And then we can see and know sure whether or not AP is also going to be valid for 5 years, or are they now finally going to bifurcate that where they will have to do it regardless of whether you file it concurrently. They would have to adjudicate your 765 separately from your advance parole, and then we'll see how that goes. So really, that's all that's going on in the immigration world as far as updates, people. And I already said on Thursday that because we didn't get to a lot of questions, I'll try to catch up on questions today. So let's get into that. And y'all know the drill. Let's put the questions in the comment section, and I will try to get on that. Okay. On Facebook. Where was her case found? The video of it. Oh, okay. The timeline in that video is not about when her case was filed. The timeline is when we did the expedited request for the VA petition. Keep in mind, like I've already said, VA process it's 2 stages. Even though you're able to file your work permit, yes, thank you. Disclaimer. General information. All questions answered, all answers provided questions are very general, nothing specific to anybody's case. So let's put that out there. No, we ain't going to do that. We ain't going to do that. Okay. But VA is in 2 folds. You've got, even though you file a concurrent I-485 with your VA case, the I-485, all it's doing is it's buying you time and accruing your priority date. It also allows you to file a work permit, C9 category, as well as advance parole. So you can travel, you're not stuck in the country while your case is pending. When the VA petition gets approved, that's when the 485 green card application part of it now starts to get adjudicated. So it is a priority date for you. So you are on the queue, but it's not being adjudicated because it is solely dependent on whether or not your VA petition gets approved. So if your VA petition gets approved, then they forward your file to the National Benefit Center. They will decide whether or not to schedule an interview. If an interview is going to be waived and you haven't sent in your medicals, they send you an RFE. If you already sent in your medical and they don't need it to be renewed, then the next stage will be to get a green card approved. But just keep that in mind. So back to your question. This is not August. This is not her green card being approved. This is, and it wasn't about when we filed. We didn't file in August of this year. We filed in June of last year, June 2022. There was no prior I-130 in this case. This is a straight up petition from scratch. And the thing is, I know all my clients' cases. I know if you call me, email me, whatever case may be, hey, Sister Laura, can you status case me? I don't have to ask the paralegal in your case what the status of your case is when we send it out. I know what's going on from the time from the time it's not working, but anyway, from the time we send your case out, I know everybody's status because I also have it on my phone. So it's gonna I have an app that will set up for me on my phone, so I can pull anyone's case wherever I am, which is great. So I know about her case, I know her story, and I know the struggle but she is a fearless, fierce, just a feisty, her determination as a mother is enviable. It is just, it's admirable. I'm telling you, it's everything. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just test Baba God on my birthday. And so on August 21st, I just sent an email. And that's the thing about having an attorney in your case, really. Because if you have someone, you're doing yourself, which this, if you cannot, I had a consultation with a guy today that did his case from start to finish himself, and he has his green card. Awesome. But a lot of people really would need an attorney. And one of the good things is, rather than having to send a letter to the Vermont Service Center office and reach them saying that we don't know who you are, if you have an attorney in your case, there is a dedicated email that we as attorneys can use to make expedited requests for your VA petition, expedited requests for your EAD, expedited requests for your advance parole, make corrections, typographical corrections to receipt notices, add your derivative beneficiaries to your case. There's a range of things that attorneys can use that email communication line for, but you can't use it. It's solely dedicated for people who have attorneys in their case. And that's what I did in this case. Submitted an expedited request. I didn't add anything, to be honest. It was just an explanation of what was going on in her situation. And that was August 21st. September 6th is when we got the email notification that the expedited request has been approved, which is amazing. I still didn't tell her anything. Y'all, listen, I'm a lawyer. I can keep secrets till Jesus comes back. That's what I'm trained to do. And as tempted as I was to tell her, I didn't tell anything. She called. We actually chatted because I had to send her the PFD, prima facie determination extension. Still didn't say anything. And so on Friday, I was like, I'll be see so what's going on. Oh, there was just 2 weeks in it, because I always tell people, be patient. I preach to myself too, because I was absent when God was giving the spirit of patience. But Friday was like, 2 weeks has gone by. I haven't heard from these people. So Sunday I decided, hey, let me send them a reminder, like, while we're here, what's going on? We need an update. And this afternoon, got an email notification. We ordered your new card, came first, and then next we approved your petition. So the timeline that I gave, that is on that video, is timeline for the expedited request itself. However, when her case was, how long did it take the VA petition itself to be approved? So June 2022. So I went in law school, so I don't have to do math. So do the math. June 2022 to now, what? 14 months? Yeah, with expedited request. So that's that. Thanks for your explanation today. God bless you. Yes, sir. I know who you are. You're absolutely welcome. How is your Tuesday going, Miss Giwa? YouTube is fine. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Miss Tammy. Hello, Miss Chrissy. How are you? Oh, can I get a shout out? Tomorrow is my birthday. Everyone, please say happy birthday to Miss Chrissy. She's going to be 47 years young tomorrow. Woohoo! For those of us in the 40s. So I was telling TJ, who was I asking TJ? I was like, hey TJ, because he's on Snapchat. I was like, what do you guys do on Snapchat? So it's for the young people. I'm like, what do you mean for the young people? Say, well, people my age. I was like, so I can't join Snapchat? Like, no, nobody wants you on Snapchat. Like, I'm a big I'm like, what do you mean nobody wants me on Snapchat? It's for people my age, like, teenagers, who I like, oh really? Okay. So people now, we 40 something, 45 and all, where do we go? He goes, that's why y'all are on Facebook. So if you guys did not know, Facebook is for people like us, and Snapchat Yeah, that's what he said. But Miss Creasy is gonna be 47. So Miss Creasy, don't go on Snapchat. You gotta stay on Facebook and YouTube. That's our age range. That's according to TJ. That's where we belong. Um, and my response to him was, when you need to get money, make sure you ask those on Snapchat, not those of us on Facebook, because those of us on Facebook, we've worked. We've worked for the money. Don't come. So happy birthday, Miss Chrissy. Everyone is saying you go to Facebook. Miss Chrissy, everyone says happy birthday to you. I pray that it's gonna be your best year yet. I pray God continues to show you favor and blessings and abundance and takes you to greater heights beyond what you can ever ask or imagine. Oh, this I don't even want to be on any Snapchat. But happy birthday, Miss Chrissy. Everyone says happy birthday to you. And we pray for excellent health and grace and abundance in all that your hands find to do. In Jesus' name. Okay. All right. Let's go to, y'all can continue on Facebook. And once again, contact information is 334-341-4475. CJ got it right. It's Facebook and WhatsApp. And in the sanctuary, you do know I know where you live. You know how the old, I don't say what's up, but I know that's what my mom says. I hope she's not, he's probably going to kill me. But a lot of, even some of my age group say what's up. I'm like, it's because you what's up now. Because you what's up. You know, the man just go now. Everyone needs to what's up. I don't think any WhatsApp and then what's up. Kilo up. She just said what's up, WhatsApp. Okay. I'm coming for you. That's all I'm saying. Everyone is saying happy birthday, Miss Chrissy. Happy birthday. So that's what, September 27. Okay, let's see. 6 years waiting for a celeb interview. What should I do now? You can't ask them to expedite it if you have facts to fit into the grounds for expedited requests. 50% or more of the time that usually don't grant it, but you're not the only one waiting. It's ridiculous at this point. It really is, but it's not. I have people who filed since 2016. I've got about 3 people so far now who had asylum filed, and now they have green card through marriage-based cases. And so we've had to send in letters to withdraw those asylum applications. So it's not just you. It's a lot of backlog that's going on. Okay, let's see. Canadian stamp to visit for 2 months, overstayed extra month, and marries a citizen is an issue. What is an issue? Are you asking if it's going to be an issue that you married? Are you asking if it's going to be an issue to file? What is your question? I have DACA with 40 credit. Without my AOS with citizen husband, do I still need affidavit? If you're asking about whether or not you still need your husband still needs to file an affidavit of support, or whether he's going to be exempt based on your situation, sit down with a lawyer to ask that question. It's not a yes or no question. 33 days, leave the country. What to do, madam? Sit down with a lawyer to discuss why your case was denied and what options you have moving forward. Okay. Attorney and immigration judge. Attorney and immigration judge decided in I-751 granted without prejudice petition to remove. Okay, I don't understand your question at all. How can I turn my B1, B2 visa into working visa? If you're still in invalid status, then you have an employer. Most non-immigrant working visas are employer sponsored. So if there's an employer offering you something, or if you qualify for a self petition green card application and you still have the time frame for that to be able to file, then that's something you want to look into. But it's not a yes. A lot of these questions are not yes and no. This, yes and is like, hey, what's the process of expediting the case? But as far as how do you change into, or to change into another status, the question is, are you eligible for any of that? What are you eligible for based on your qualifications? And that's why you sit down with a lawyer and have a proper consultation. How long does it take to get a receipt notice after submitting an I-751? So in August 15 and beyond, we filed about 7 of those between then and now, and we've received all the receipt notices for 751s that we filed from August 15th through September 7th. Everything we filed within that time frame, we've received the receipt notices this week, last week and this week. So if that gives you, just give you an idea of what we're seeing. I'm seeing that even VAL receipt notices are coming in faster, at least in my firm. The ones we got today, all the cases we filed in, because I know some of my clients are here, but once I went through them and I was like, we just filed this case pretty quick. I don't think it's even 30 days where we filed that particular case, and we have the receipt notices already. So I think they're improving. But 751s, we're not seeing anything. The longest for me this year so far has been 30 days, but this past month, it's been 2 weeks, thereabout. Okay. How long does an I-130 take now, depending on what your category is? USCIS.gov/present time. Can I travel to other states on an expired work G1 visa? Your visa being expired in a country doesn't control your status. What controls your status in the country is an I-94. So if you do not have an I-94 that is valid, then you travel at your own risk. Okay. When can I put in my citizenship? Just go by 10-year green card based on marriage, either 3 years. After 3 years as a legal permanent resident, if you're still in marital union with your spouse, and your spouse is a citizen, or 5 years if you're no longer married to union, and you've gotten divorced, then it's going to be 5 years as a legal permanent resident. If someone was accused of a sham marriage, can they still do vow? The only way you can get out of a sham the only way you can address a 204C allegation is to file something. You've got to file something. If not, you're going to be permanently barred from ever getting a green card. So whether or not you can file, disclaimer once again, this is not about your case. General information. I usually do that because if they qualify, because that's without doing something, you're not going to be able to fight it, to get that argued, and that's how you can address that and argue that and rebut the allegations when you have another pending application, be it family or employment based. They sent me an RFP for medical, my stepdad's tax returns, and I said it's 64. So what's your question? My case is card mailed. How long till arrival? I have a flight back home booked October 8th. I can't tell you how long it's going to take USCIS to mail you the card. Okay. We also apply for work permit. My case is pending for 284 days. So what is your question? At what time do asylum seekers apply for parole? So if you mean advanced parole, if you have a pending asylum case, you can file an advanced parole. There's no time frame when you have to file it. Just keep in mind that you cannot now travel back to the country that you're asking for protection from. So let's see. Okay. Can I expedite VA based on no surgery? You can try. If it's something where you have to, if it's plastic surgery, I don't think that's going to be a basis for expediting. But I don't know what kind of no surgery you want to have, but you can always try, especially if you have a lawyer in your case. Okay. How long does it take for H-1B sponsorship to green card for Germans? Um, I'm not really sure I'm following what your question is. What do you mean? How long does it take? H-1B is completely different from a green card application. Do I get approved soon, or have to wait for them to approve my EAD, or they just gonna approve my green card? I cannot say how USCIS is going to process your case. If your spouse comes to the United States, how long does it take to receive your citizenship? They have to, first of all, go through getting the green card process. If they're coming in with an immigrant visa, then they have to be a legal foreign resident for at least 3 years before they can consider filing for citizenship. Okay. My lawyer submitted my application from July for VA and didn't receive a receipt notice yet. Is that normal? Sammy, do you mean July of this year, like July 2 months ago? If that's what you're talking about, that's not abnormal. What I'm seeing, I think that there are still either 2 cases or so filed in July that we may, off the top of my head, that we may not have the receipt notices yet. But I just know that some of the cases that mail that came in today, I saw the name. I was like, that is, we just filed a case last month, so it's not abnormal. This is just July. It's 2 months ago. Can you share an insight into what the request for expedited case was? If you're asking what the reasons I used for, no, I cannot share that. So, hello, Sid. Thank you for watching from New York. I'm actually licensed in New York. I just don't have an office there yet. Is it risky to divorce during an I-130 45 and remarry to somebody else? Sit down with a lawyer and discuss your case. Okay. Alrighty, let me go to awaiting my green card. I renewed my driver's license, yes, and they gave me 8 years. That's good. Each state is different though. So each state has their own laws as far as being able to renew. What's the time? Ooh, gotta go. Okay. Let's see. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay. Oh, you're on leave till December? Okay, I can imagine. I know when I saw you was, but anyway, hold on tight. You'll be all right. Greetings from Connecticut. Hello, Neck Multimedia. Thank you. How are you? Just came checking. Thank you, Miss Peggy. I appreciate that. Once again, we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Got an immigration case that we can handle on your behalf. We will be glad to do that. Absolutely glad to help you out. I saw your post. Can we ask questions about that? Ask away. Okay. No. So, okay, he'll contact me soon. Okay, great. Thank you, BT on the score. Do you still have a free I've never had free consultation. So, yeah. This is the free consultation to offer. I'm new. The King's Daughter. Thank you for joining. Welcome. You're going to love it here. Trust me. This is positive zone, Positive vibes. We don't do anything negative here. If you bring it, you're out. Yes, it is. So I'm thinking maybe I should put in just a little bit more extra requests on some cases and just see, try my luck. Because, but then again, you don't want to like, until you choose quite a day. So she will actually approve your client's case. What's going on? But thank God, September. I mean, yesterday wasn't. It didn't start well. I'm not gonna lie. It was. I take it very personal from, and that's a struggle that I have, and I have colleagues who tell me, you on that thing we don't guarantee any result. I can never guarantee you any result because that'll be highly responsible. I can't. But I think for me, it's just as a personal experience with everybody that's my client because I have had a very similar experience knowing what it feels like. So yes, that's how I make a living, but it's also knowing that and then it keeps me up at night. So I'm still struggling to be able to um you know compartmentalize work and personal and emotional connection to, but that's gonna be a hard one. Hello, Miss Abena, how are you? Thank you. How was your weekend? They're virtual sisters. About the 5 years EAD, does it apply to applications filed starting from October 1st or approvals from October 1st? It's very specific when you file October 1st, but let's see what USCI specifically states, because I need to know also how they're going to address the advanced parole issue, and hoping that that's going to be addressed. If they're going to include those who already filed the EADs and the pending approvals as of October 1st, if they're going to include that, then they will let us know. So I would anticipate that it's going to be those that file on or after, but obviously I'm not USCI, so let's see what happens come October 2nd or over the weekend. If they should have an update for us soon. Hello, finest Shandy. How are you? All righty. Let's see. God is good all the time and always on his time. Exactly. You see, there's nothing like the feeling of, I call clients, the prayer is that the denials are not, that's not going to win because so you can count them on one hand. But there is no greater feeling when you can call a mother, 5 kids who's been busting their ass off, excuse my French, and say, hey, I got some news to share. I didn't tell you this, but about a month ago, I did this. And guess what? Your 5 kids has been approved. And when you can sense from the other side that she's almost passing out, because her story. Her story. And I remember vividly when we met last year, she was like, there was a lot of convoluted things going on with her marriage in particular that gave us concern. It wasn't the typical qualifying relationship thing, but that's where my brain works. I love challenges. An easy case. And that's, if anyone has consulted with me and you have a straightforward case, I'll tell you, you probably can do this yourself. If it's not something I think you need a lawyer for, I'll tell you, that's the truth. But her case, I was like, we can't. She goes, and then we came through this country. And yeah, I think we got this. Obviously, I can't give you any promises, but I think we got this. So it was really interesting working on being able to call her and say, guess what? Your petition has been approved. She goes, oh, yeah. And you can tell she was like, when someone literally has a heavy burden lifted up, there's no other feeling like it. Okay, let's see. How did this fly? How did I go from? I don't want to miss anyone's question. Okay, sorry, people. What did I do? Okay, there we go. Um, okay. TJ's mom is a handyman. I wish. What it feels like if it doesn't got everything. Is VOG getting the 5 years work permit as well? That is a good question, but it is not listed as part of those who file, the certain applicants. Now, I'm talking specifically about a C31. The VOG work permit is a C31. The C9 is an adjustment of status work permit. Adjustment of status applicants will get the 5 year work permit. As far as whether a C31, I think it's just best, it's safe to say, let's see what the USCIS, they would still come out with their own news alert. That will be very detailed and exactly what needs to be done. But as far as the C31, I don't think that is included as of today. Yeah, today updates, immigration updates, and more questions and all. When USCIS approves an I-130 for minor abroad, do I wait to get my 485 approved before I can file anything else for the person abroad to begin? Not necessarily. You can actually do concurrently. And yes, I'm hoping you have a lawyer on your case though. Is this for filed applications from October 1st or approvals from October 1st? Same answer I gave earlier on, so we'll just wait to see. I can't see. I just remembered somebody. So her name. Okay. Does the 5 years apply to EAD renewal? I would believe so. They didn't say initial or renewals. It just says filing. So, but once again, and that's why, because I know people have been asking me for the past almost a week, but that's why I've not really said anything on it because I wanted to get more information on that. I hate to put out anything and then there's something, but so just to be on the safe side, I can give just the general fact that I know for now. And then when USCIS comes out with their policy to tell us exactly how this is going to be implemented, then we know for sure how that goes. And then we can come back and talk about that again. Okay. When you have a work permit and not able to renew it because the lawyer said the work authorization was deferred action, so you can't do anything. So with this 5 years work authorization, is there hope? I do not understand your question at all. I have no clue what you're talking about work authorization deferred action. You may want to get a second opinion. Yes, thank you, Ms. Sabina. Repeating questions doesn't really help. So how long after receipt notice will you get biometrics? There's no set time after that. Within no set time frame after filing to get biometrics. She doesn't play with the disclaimers. Okay, let's see. Hello, Miss Aminat. How are you? Yes, Miss Chrissy, everyone is saying happy birthday on Instagram. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Yeah, we the old people go on Facebook. Yep. And what's up? I wonder what's up with you. Ah, my mom is on. She's good, probably. She's on. Ooh, my mother is on. Yes, somebody's in trouble. Yeah, Banky, shut up, Yalewa. Come on, mommy, yeah, Banky. Banko is my younger brother. Because that's her handbag. Does getting snapped from my U.S. citizen son affect my immigration status? Generally, it should not, as long as it was solely for the benefit of the child. If your VA case is still pending, can you get pregnant? Oh, Lord. Okay. When you make inquiries and they respond with an email saying they will get back in 60 days. Can I please know how does that work? Please? They'll get back to you in 60 days. They would have told you when you made inquiries whether they're going to send you an email or what they're going to call you. If they're going to call you, then they would have given you a case ID number that once they call, then you repeat that to them so they know you're the right person you're speaking with. My spouse I-130 was approved. She's in Nigeria. What do I do now? Does USCIS automatically send the request to Nigeria, or have to file a form request? If your wife is in Nigeria, then you should have indicated on your I-130 that she's going to be consular processing, and your request would have said your case has been transferred to the National Visa Center. If you did not get an email from the National Visa Center, you want to check your receipt notice. Your receipt notice, if your receipt notice says you did not indicate whether the person is going to be consular processing or adjusting status, then it would say you have to file an I-824 to request us to either transfer or let us know what you're doing. So if you did not do any of those, then it's time for you to sit down with a lawyer and actually discuss your case. What's termination of removal proceedings without or with prejudice? So without prejudice means that U.S. DHS can reinstate, or better still, refile removal proceedings and bring you back to court. With prejudice means they cannot. That's just the difference. Thank you, Ms. Ellis. Anything about person times? USCIS.gov/person time. Epic Movement. I sent you an email. I haven't heard back from you. I have your receipt notice. Check your email. Check your email. I sent you an email, so I have your notice. I need to get it to you. What can someone that came to the U.S. with F1 visa, but after he finished registration of courses, suddenly his sponsor dies? Sorry to hear about that. What can he or she do to remain in the U.S.? And also, what hope does he have? Sit down with a lawyer to discuss your case. Can I be a sponsor alongside my U.S. citizen spouse on I-864? If you're the intended immigrant and your source of income will continue after you get a green card, then generally, yes. General information, nothing specific. No. This is as general as it can possibly get. But so please don't. Yeah, that's all. Okay. Please check DM. That's what my assistant does. She does that at the end of because she's on here with me taking notes. But she will check DMs later on. I don't check DM business page DMs anymore. On what grounds can I expedite my VA case? Humanitarian basis, medical reasons, financial hardship. Everybody's case is different. Your facts are different, and it's a 50-50 chance at best. That's just the reality of it. So, you just never know. Have I had some that I requested expedited and they denied it? Absolutely. So, yeah. But you have to know what the facts of your circumstance, the facts in your circumstances are, and then see if that will be enough to request an expedited request, make an expedited request. How long does it take to get a response for a national interest waiver? If you did a premium processing service, within 45 days. If you did just regular filing, I don't have any that's more than 6 months. Let's see. Okay. I put in my EAD since last year, October. I've not gotten a receipt notice till now. It's normal. It's not normal to have a receipt notice for almost a year. So, hello, Miss Evelyn. How are you? Hello, Island Girl. Hello, Mr. Speechless. So really good. Good to know that. Okay. Does it come with advanced pro? That's what we were talking about earlier on. Mm. Hey, Mama. She said, "Yep." My mom would tell you, and I don't know if she's still on. I was that kid. I got three siblings. I got two younger siblings and an older brother. Well, on my mama's side, I got step siblings. No, not step siblings, half siblings. But growing up, my mother would say, I was a kid that out of all four of us, if anyone had the mouth to say something, it was me. But why not? Why can't we talk and ask questions? And now, in God's own, great sense of humor, I have a kid that questions everything like I used to. See how the word, like my mom would say, 𝐢𝐦𝐦𝐢𝐿𝐵𝒕 or something. Like what goes around comes around. Now I got me in TJ form. And I'm like, what in God's name? So this is what it felt like with my mother. Yeah. But I said what I said. Um, okay. Almost 3 years after filing VA, no prima facie or RFE. Should that be a red flag? It's unusual for them not to send your prima facie. They probably sent it in, I don't know, maybe you moved, but you've got to contact them and see. But the fact that you can get a prima facie doesn't mean your case is going to be denied, because there are a lot of cases that will have prima facie. Almost all cases that get prima facie actually get that get denied actually had been given prima facie determinations. But almost 3 years you haven't received. I would say contact them and see. I'm just looking away. Okay, alrighty. So I guess those are all the questions. Let me run through here one more time. Miss Chrissy says, I appreciate you all. Good vibes, good vibes. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Miss Chrissy says, thanks, everybody. I got my work permit and travel document in my VA case. What next process? How long it's going to take? You asked that question last time, right? And the same answer is not going to change. I got removal dismissal letter from the immigration judge, and the VA is still pending. What next? Sit down with a lawyer to discuss your case. I have a friend of mine that got his VA approved, but his I-45 was denied because of removal. He didn't even know. Can you help him? He can contact our office, 334-341-4475, or visit our website, olalayalawfirm.com. Text us on WhatsApp, same number, 334-341-4475. And we will be glad to help and speak with him and see what we can do for him. Is it possible to join the live? Can type on my question. Let me see if I can still do this. Let's see. Why not? Let me see what the time is. I gotta go real quick, but let me see if I can. I don't know. Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I was just trying to ask. I didn't even know you're gonna pick up. Thank you so much for picking.
Absolutely, no worries. What are your
Yeah.
questions? And you never know,
Okay.
someone else may benefit from that.
Yeah. So we're this last month August, I
Okay.
had my interview at Atlanta field office.
Okay.
It pretty went well because my interview did the 130 first, then it's time from the 485.
Okay.
So during the first 85, he was asking a question regarding if I have a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a child in America, which I brought to the interview, and that was good. But he kept asking, like, do I have any other child? And which basically, yes, I had a child when I was in Nigeria.
Okay.
But I think during my interview, they asked me about the child, and I said, yes, I had a child. But I actually lost the child.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so I told him that I lost the child and I explained everything. So he asked me when that happened, and I let him know it was 2014. So, and he was like, when did I receive my visa? I said 2016. So it was like, so why did I say that I have a child when I lost the child in 2014? And I kind of try to explain that it's based on the question they asked me, because I was married then in the marriage, but I lost the child. So I think based on the question they asked me, I said, yes, I had one. So whoever interviewed me just wrote 1 in
Okay.
there. So he said he's not going to approve my case, that he needs to go investigate it, that it sounds like a misinterpretation with my visa. So my question is, since then, I haven't heard back from them. My case changed to actively review, but I haven't heard anything. So he asked for the death certificate, and I didn't have it. I explained I don't have it and all that. And I also asked that, am I going to receive an RFE for it so I can request for it from it in Nigeria? Yes, in Nigeria.
Yeah, so you were asking if they're going to send you an RFE, so that gives you time to be able to request a copy of the death certificate directly.
Yes, I asked him that, but he said he really can't say anything. But since then, I haven't heard back, so I'm kind of worried that this is something I need to get a lawyer just on standby if they have to question me or have a note based on that. So I don't know if that's a very serious issue or it's just something that I don't even know what to do now.
Okay. So first things first, I would say not worry. I know that's hard to say, but I would say, just believe that God hasn't brought you this far to fail you. That's number one. So that's the most important part. Now, logically, let's tackle that. My first response will be definitely, if you get an RFE, you want to get a lawyer, because the line of argument that will be my kind of argument is along the line of, you didn't misrepresent. You have a child. You had a child. You have a child. This is where culture plays into things. If I'm Nigerian, so in our culture, it's not unusual for you to still claim someone. Like, for instance, I have a friend who lost a kid when the kid was about 5. So she had 4 kids, but there are only 3 left. If you ask her how many children she has, she would tell you she's got 4 kids. And so that's where culture plays it comes into play, that even though the child no longer exists, that's something that's part of my life. In order for me to be able to keep coping with my life and not forget about the child that I lost, I still refer to myself as. So if someone asks me now, meaning you, how many children do you have? I'm going to say 2, because even though the child is no longer here, that was my child. That is still my child. So I claim that child. No one is going to tell you whether or not that child, whether on this side of heaven or not, should be indicated. For visa purposes, they're looking at it as, well, if your child was already past at that point, why did you say yes? Yeah. But that's going to be the line of argument. I didn't misrepresent. It wouldn't have changed. The question is, will it have changed their decision at that point solely because you had a child? The argument can be made that no, I did not misrepresent. So definitely you're going to need a lawyer if that happens. But I wanted to believe that your explanation, and I'm assuming you didn't go with a lawyer on this case, right?
Yes, I did not.
Okay.
We did everything
so and this is one thing I want, and I'm glad you brought that question up. I always tell people, whatever you filled in your DS-160 when you apply for visitor visa, F1 visa, whatever case may be, USCIS will bring that up when you're applied to adjust status. They always look into your folder. They look into your record. They look into your file. Just be aware. Remember what you said so that it tallies what you're going to put in your application to adjust status. Because if it conflicts, that's going to be the problem. They pull that up and they question you about that because you had said something different. If that comes up, there's no worst case scenario. They'll probably say you send you an RFE for a waiver. You can tackle it both ways. This is just general information right now. You can tackle it both ways in the sense of, yes, I did not misrepresent. It was not a material misrepresentation, even if you think so, because I was not saying this to deceive you. I was saying it because you're not going to tell me how long it's going to take me to grieve over my child. So, this, I'm sure it's something that can be argued, but you would need a lawyer if that happens. And I'm hoping that you get a decision made. Since it was just last month, I usually give them 60 days whenever a case like this happens. 60 days after you haven't heard from me, 60 days, contact them and say, hey, I had my interview so certain date. Now, the I-130, has that been approved?
Yes, it got approved the following day.
Exactly. So that usually happens. So once that happens, my I-130 has been approved. You and the husband can get on a call together and say, we're waiting on this. We need to move on with our lives. What's going on? And that usually jolts them to do something. So that's what I would suggest. But if that happens, our contact information, you set up a consultation where we can discuss that in full. But that's what I would argue. And I've come up with very, very crafty arguments because I am Nigerian, so I understand our culture. But hopefully you wouldn't have to get to that point.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Because I was
Absolutely.
trying to type everything, but
I understand.
Because it has limits, I couldn't type all this. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so
All
much.
right. You have a wonderful night. Okay. I think
Yeah.
you're going to have to sign up off on your end because I don't know how to do that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. I don't know how to do it for real. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, people. Thank you as always for joining. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, that's why I always say till 3. Someone's like, Miss Cecilia, you sent me an email at 3:28 a.m. I was like, oh, was that late? I lose track of time. Especially when I'm drafting a brief. It's like I'm in my element then. Because in my head, when I'm drafting a brief, I'm already fighting with USCIs. Like, I'm thinking like, like it's so I lose track of time. It's just what it is. But anyway, let us keep. That's cool, right? Mr. Peter, you're gonna come next. Let us keep believing and trusting. I just pray that we'll all continue to share good news with one another. It is nothing like it. There's nothing like being in amongst people who have positive mindset. And I pray that whoever comes, thank you. And I pray that whoever comes to join us, that you leave this meeting Tuesdays and Thursdays feeling rejuvenated, refreshed, feeling alive. That you have people that are similar that have experienced what you're going through, and an attorney who has gone through what you're going through. You can't tell me something about immigration process. I've lived it. I've lived the anxiety and all. But I strongly believe that God's got a purpose for each and every one of us, that He has brought us this far. And so because He has brought us this far and allowed us to make it this far, we're going to have to leave out our purpose in life. And thank you once again. Contact information is 334-341-4475. Thank you, Ms. in the Sanctuary. I'll see you guys next time.